What is up, nation? Today we are going to be rebooking the 2002 Royal Rumble match. The 2002 Rumble, listen, it's not a bad match at all. I go back, I can still enjoy it. But one thing I've always thought about the 02 Rumble is that the star power is there. Probably could swap out a couple of guys, which we did. We'll talk about that in the rebooking. But I just felt like at times it didn't really feel like a Rumble match. Like Maven eliminates The Undertaker. Undertaker beats up Maven around the arena. Christian's just like in the ring by himself. At one point, Austin's just in the ring by himself. It just kind of feels like separate things going on in the midst of the Rumble. And I like when the Rumble really feels like it has a beginning, middle, end, and it just flows very well throughout it. You know what I mean? The pieces are there. The execution, I think, could have been better. So, for the fun of it, we are going to rebook the 2002 Rumble. And coincidentally enough, last year we did rebook WrestleMania 18 right here on the channel. This video has nothing to do with that video, but if you're interested, I'll link it up in the cards. And I will say up front, the goal with this Royal Rumble isn't to completely change the timeline of 2002 and what we actually got out of WrestleMania 18. It's just the Rumble match itself and making it, just in my opinion, a better match from number 1 to number 30. So no further introduction is needed. Let's get into my personal rebooking of the 2002 Royal Rumble match. Alright, so just like some of the previous videos here on the channel where we fantasy booked the upcoming 2024 Men's and Royal Rumble matches, we got the whole layout on the screen for you guys, so it's very easy to follow throughout the Royal Rumble match. But we are talking about 2002. We are going back in time to the dying days, if you will, of the Attitude Era, if it wasn't already kind of in the past at this point. This is post-invasion, pre-Ruthless Aggression era. This is just kind of that weird time period in between, but definitely some good stuff in there. So let's kick off the 30-man 2002 Royal Rumble matchup. At number 1, we will kick it off with, I was about to say Mr. Monday Night, but I mean, I guess Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Thursday Night. There wasn't brands at the time, like rosters. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Rob Van Dam at number 1, kicking things off in the Royal Rumble matchup. RVD, somebody who was still pretty new to WWE at the time. Obviously, he was involved in the invasion angle, but wasn't, you know, full-fledged WWF guy. I should remember to say WWF in this video, not that it really matters. But RVD coming in at number 1. Big star to kick us off. And at number 2, somebody he's got some history with, that being Jeff Hardy. Of course, this is 2002, January, SummerSlam 2001. RVD and Jeff Hardy were tearing it up in a ladder match. So already some history between those guys. Not that it necessarily matters too much in the Royal Rumble match, but just kind of one of those things that, hey, these guys are familiar with each other. Now here they are linking back up. But just a fun 1 and 2. Two, you know, red hot baby faces. Everybody loves the Hardys. Everybody loves RVD. What better way to kick off the Royal Rumble match, in my personal opinion? We move into number 3, and that'll be Billy, as in Billy Gunn, as in Billy and Chuck. Not the tag team champions yet, but they were certainly on their way to doing so eventually. And Billy Gunn's just the man. I know we're talking about 2002, but just to talk about 2 years later, 2004 real quick, one of my favorite Rumble moments, when Billy Gunn comes out in the 2004 Royal Rumble match and just starts hitting everybody with a famouser. Great stuff. Has nothing to do with this. I just wanted to mention it. At number 4 in this match, we have Edge, who originally was not in the 2002 Royal Rumble match. That is because he wrestled William Regal earlier that night, losing his Intercontinental Championship to Regal, but I would still have those guys in the Rumble match. I think it just adds some star power where it's needed. And I'm not sure off the top of my head, because I didn't write it down, who I swapped with some of these guys that I replaced, like who I took out, but obviously it wasn't anybody too big of a deal. But Edge coming in at number 4, obviously going to be banged up from his match with Regal. Number 5, the Tough Enough Season 1 winner, Maven, who is, you know, 2002, and in this Royal Rumble matchup, really the highlight of Maven's career goes on in real life, talking to, you know, win the hardcore title, and then that's basically it until they tried to, like, bring him back to life a little bit in 2004 near the end, and then that didn't really last long either. And now he's, like, you know, wrestling YouTube's hottest star, Maven, but in 2002, he was the Tough Enough Season 1 winner. So 5 entrants so far, nobody eliminated just yet. Coming in at number 6, we have Chuck of Billy and Chuck, aka Chuck Palumbo. They're, of course, going to team up. Billy and Chuck in there. Rico, I'm sure, at ringside. Just, you know, cheering them along. Not going to do any eliminations here, but definitely going to start dominating the ring. They're in there with a bunch of baby faces, so going to beat down on RVD, beat down on Maven. and beat down on Jeff Hardy. But Jeff Hardy, on the verge of being eliminated by Billy and Chuck, is going to get saved by the number 7 entrant, and that being Matt Hardy. So Matt Hardy enters the Royal Rumble and saves the day, kind of similar to how the Hardys, helped save each other. I think it was Jeff who saved Matt in the, or no, maybe it was Matt who saved Jeff. I forget off the top of my head who saved who in the actual 2002 Rumble from on the verge of elimination by The Undertaker. But in this case, the Billy and Chuck going to try to eliminate Jeff Hardy. Matt Hardy coming in at number 7, saves the day. The Hardy Boys going to team up to get the first eliminations of this matchup and send Billy and Chuck on their way. And of course, at WrestleMania 18, the Hardys, Billy and Chuck, the Dudleys, and APA involved in a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team matchup. So there's a little prelude to what was coming. Not that the Rumble has much to do with that Tag Team title match, but you see what I mean. So the Hardys eliminate Billy and Chuck from the Royal Rumble matchup. At number 8, we have the return, I believe it was the return off the top of my head, of The Godfather, who has one of the best entrances in Royal Rumble history in 2002. And what I mean by that is he comes out, he's got about 4 hoes with him. I'm just calling it how it was. It was the times, so I'm just calling it how it was. It was the times. But that's not enough. Godfather goes to the back, brings out like 4 more, goes to the back, brings out like 4 more. Godfather just showed up to Atlanta, Georgia that night, just dripping in hose. What can I say? But made his return. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of returns in the real life Royal Rumble. You had Godfather, Goldust, Mr. Perfect, who was advertised. Maybe somebody else. There was a couple of returns in this matchup, talking the real life version. But as you can see on my screen, in my matchup, Godfather returning at entrance number 8. Coming in at number 9, business gonna pick up the game, Triple H. And of course, Triple H, just weeks removed from his epic return in Madison Square Garden from his knee injury. Triple H red hot in the WWE at this point, showing up to Atlanta, Georgia, a favorite to win the Royal Rumble matchup. Triple H coming in early at number 9. Unfortunately, though, not going to make it down the aisle, because as he's walking down the aisle, he is attacked from behind by Kurt Angle, a man he was feuding with at the time. Kurt Angle and Triple H had some leftover business from 2001 and now bled over to 2002. All that stuff. Were they feuding in 2001? Regardless, they were heating up in 2002. They were going at it. They were the final 2 in real life. So keep a little bit of that story going here. Kurt Angle going to jump Triple H from behind in the aisleway and use a steel chair on his surgically repaired knee. So the game knocked out before he can even get to the ring. Obviously not eliminated from the matchup, at least at this point. Referees and staff going to help Triple H to the back. So Triple H entrance number 9, but never enters the ring thanks to the attack of Kurt Angle. Entering at number 10, you got the Big Boss Man. Not going to make much of an impact, just the Big Boss Man 2002, so there you go. At number 11, no disrespect, I'm just saying, let's be real. Was Big Boss Man really breaking waves in 2002 is what I'm saying here. But he's going to enter the Rumble match at number 10. At number 11, once again, business going to pick up. Triple H didn't even make it to the ring. This guy, however, is. At number 11, dead man walking, Big Evil, The Undertaker. Undertaker going to march his way down the aisle, and he's going to start cleaning house. Obviously, only 2 eliminations up to this point. However, Undertaker's going to get in there, and there's going to be some carnage. The Dead Man going to eliminate the Big Boss Man. Undertaker going to eliminate the Godfather. And the Undertaker had some very recent history with the Hardy Boys as it played out in real life. We're also going to tie it in this Royal Rumble matchup. So Taker gets rid of Big Boss Man and the Godfather. He is also going to get rid of the number 2 entrant in Jeff Hardy and the number 7 entrant in Matt Hardy. And if Lito wants to run in the ring and get chokeslammed by the Undertaker as well, so be it. Undertaker's coming in to clear house. Undertaker's going to turn his attention to Maven. And as Maven tries to fight the Undertaker, Taker's just going to lay him out with a chokeslam. Just brutal, just laying waste to the Tough Enough winner, basically putting him through the ring without putting him through the ring. Maven's going to roll outside the ring, but underneath the bottom rope, he's not eliminated quite yet. So Undertaker's in there, RVD's in there, Edge is in there. Who else we got in there? I don't have the picture in front of me, I just have my notes. You guys can see. At number 12, we have the Hurricane. And you know what? Listen, This is why I say the 2002 Rumble, it's got its moments. Because in real life, the Hurricane runs out there while Triple H and Stone Cold are going at it. And tries to chokeslam both guys. And they, like, sell for it for a second. They're like, oh my god, it's The Undertaker, he's gonna chokeslam us. And then they realize that it's the Hurricane, and they grab him and throw him out. It's a great Rumble moment. They actually repeated it in the 2021 Rumble with Big E and Bobby Lashley. That's besides the point. In this fantasy booking, however, Hurricane's going to enter at number 12, and instead of going for that choke slam on Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's going to go for the choke slam on the man who just annihilated Maven with a choke slam, that being The Undertaker. And Undertaker obviously not going to take very kindly to that. Big Evil going to throw out the Hurricane, send him sailing through the skies, and eliminated from the matchup. So in the match, at this point, we have Rob Van Dam, Edge, Maven, Triple H, who's not currently in the ring, and The Undertaker. So we got some bodies in there, all pretty relevant names on television. At number 13, we're getting the big cheek, Rikishi. Anybody else laugh anytime they go back and watch the 2002 draft and Vince McMahon drafts Rikishi to SmackDown and he's like, oh, I'll take the big cheek, I'll take Rikishi. Just pops me every time, I don't know why. Rikishi enters at number 13, and then at number 14, we get the official appearance of Kurt Angle in this matchup. So now legally allowed to be in the arena and now entering the ring. Kurt Angle going to come in a house of fire, going to Angle Slam RVD, Edge, and Rikishi, all with some of those good old-fashioned Olympic angle slams. Kurt Angle and The Undertaker going to come to blows. Kurt Angle gets the best of him, couple of shots, going for the Olympic slam, gets him up, Taker reverses, Taker comes out, choke slam on Kurt Angle. Now everybody's laid out. Angle took out everybody with angle slams, Taker took out Angle with a choke slam. Undertaker's distracted, he's up against the ropes, attempting to maybe eliminate Kurt Angle. Maven rolls back in the ring from behind, and just like in real life, going to drop kick The Undertaker out of the matchup for the elimination. Listen, it's one of the greatest eliminations of all time. Cannot knock that. And this Rumble has its moments. It has moments more than anything else. I just think point A to point B throughout the Rumble could have been better. But I got to acknowledge some of the great moments. And Maven, not only is this probably the best moment of his career, it's one of the greatest Royal Rumble eliminations of all time. One of the most shocking. So, of course, I had to keep that in there. So, Maven going to drop kick The Undertaker out of this matchup and eliminate him. While Maven's celebrating, Kurt Angle going to come from behind and dump out Maven. So Maven eliminated, Undertaker eliminated, and then the Undertaker beatdown on Maven commences, except this time, there's actually some action still going on in the ring. You got Kurt Angle, Edge, RVD, you get the point. And I understand in real life, like, that's probably why nobody was in the ring at the time, so the cameras could just be on Maven and the Undertaker, but I think that takes away from the Rumble match itself. So, that's just me. At number 15, now halfway through the Royal Rumble, we have Scotty 2 Hotty. And yes, I put Scotty 2 Hotty at this point because in real life, he's walking down to the ring, he's juking and jiving, he's dancing, and he turns around and just a mean left hook or right hook, whatever it was, from The Undertaker, just gets dropped in the aisle. Another thing that just pops me, I think is hilarious. So, another little moment we kept in here. So, and then, The Undertaker can brawl with Maven through the crowd. But Scotty 2 Hotty eventually going to get up and make his way into the ring, but going to enter at number 15, gets sucker punched by The Undertaker in the middle of the aisle. At number 16, we have the new Intercontinental Champion, William Regal. And Regal and Edge going to pick up right where they left off earlier that night in their Intercontinental Championship matchup. Obviously, Edge going to be itching for that retribution over Sir William Regal, and they're just going to go at it in the ring. And no eliminations until number 17 arrives. That is Christian, and Christian aids William Regal in eliminating Edge. A little double team elimination there. Regal sticking it to the guy he took the Intercontinental title from. Christian and Edge, even though they weren't feuding at the time, always connected there. So Christian and Regal eliminate Edge from the matchup, who has a good showing after already wrestling earlier that night. Next up, we have another return in this matchup, Val Venis. And the crowd goes wild. I mean, literally, that sounds sarcastic, and it was sarcastic, but honestly, it shouldn't be sarcastic, because Val Venis, pretty over guy, and got a good pop in the 2002 Rumble. I just watched it last week, so it's pretty fresh in my head. But Val Venis returns at number 18. Not going to make much of an impact at this point. Diamond Dallas Page, DDP, in at number 19. And at this point, you know, the ring's starting to fill up a little bit, but it's going to thin out because the Olympic gold medal winner, Kurt Angle, going to start beating up some bodies. Kurt Angle is going to eliminate Rikishi as well as Scotty 2 Hotty, who doesn't make much of a presence in this Royal Rumble matchup. No disrespect, it's Scotty 2 Hotty. Nonetheless, Kurt Angle is ruling the ring, and now Triple H returns to the arena, banged up knee and all, and Triple H is going to go after Kurt Angle. But he's not going to get the chance to eliminate him because as Kurt Angle's ruling the ring and Triple H hobbles his way back down, finally gets inside the squared circle, they're brawling away, left and right. Triple H is going to lay him out with a pedigree, and before he can even pick him up for the elimination, Val Venus is going to get involved. Val Venus is going to go out for the game, and obviously Triple H is going to take care of the big Valvoski, little pedigree, and eliminates Val Venus from the Royal Rumble match. At number 20, we have the world's largest athlete, The Big Show. That was beautiful, man. Just comment how beautiful those pipes were down below in the comments. As he is entering the ring, that meaning the Big Show, Diamond Dallas Page going to eliminate Christian from this matchup. Another prelude to WrestleMania 18, where DDP fought Christian for the European Championship. Christian challenged DDP on that night. Big Show gets in the ring, however, he's going to eliminate DDP, getting some of these mid-carders or even lower mid-carders for 2002 out of there. Big Show coming in as DDP eliminates Christian. Big Show eliminates DDP. Number 21 is the Big Red Machine, Kane. This is 2002. 2002, 2003, just my favorite Kane look of all time. Still wearing the mask, but also just like jacked with like the tank top shit on. It was awesome. Kane was a beast back then. Kane in at number 21. APA's Bradshaw in at number 22. Probably going to come in and hit some mean-looking clothesline from Hells. I forget who he hit with a clothesline during this match, but it was it was badass, to say the least. So Bradshaw in at number 22. Again, starting to get some bodies in the ring. During this time, however, you know, not every elimination can come when somebody new enters the ring. You know, you gotta have those random ones in the middle of the Rumble match. So during this time, Rob Van Dam going to eliminate his eventual WrestleMania 18 opponent for the Intercontinental Championship, that being the champion himself, William Regal. Maybe Regal can throw a little temper tantrum at ringside, even though that was Christian's thing during the time, but you get the point. And, you know, again, just building towards some of those WrestleMania 18 matches, which is easier to do in retrospect. You know, they might not even known they were doing some of these matches like DDP and Christian and RVD and Regal and the tag team title match at Mania 18, which is why you didn't see those, you know, matches, there's superstars intertwined in this match. But again, in retrospective, we have the ability to do that. So RVD eliminates his eventual WrestleMania 18 opponent in the Intercontinental Champion, William Regal. We get big old Albert in there at number 23. At number 24, the glass is going to shatter and Atlanta is going to explode because Stone Cold Steve Austin, what? Which I believe the what can I get it out? The what chant just started around this time. Stone Cold Steve Austin enters at number 24, and Austin's gonna raise hell. Stone Cold eliminates Albert from the matchup because eliminating Albert is the equivalent of raising hell, obviously. And then after Stone Cold comes in, man, and probably drops a bunch of people with stunners, the ring's pretty much going to fill up as we get into this final stretch in the 2002 Royal Rumble matchup. This is one thing that we didn't really see a lot in the 02 Rumble, was the ring fill up. A lot of guys were in and out, especially the last few, like Big Show and RVD, Booker T in real life. Like, none of them really lasted too long, so going to try to change the story a little bit in this, you know, retrospective rebooking, if you will. At number 25, we have Mr. Personality, if I can be serious for a minute, himself, Lance Storm. It sounded like a dig. I love Lance Storm, though. At number 26, we have the return of Goldust, who's going to get in there as well. I believe he was number 2 in real life, but number 26 in this fantasy booking. Number 27, we're going to finish off the APA with Farouk. Damn. You know, nothing else to say there. Number 28, we have Test, who I love Test. One guy I love just watching random matches of here and there from back in the day. Test was just a beast in there. And number 29, we have the returning Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, who this was the one return that was like advertised in advance of the 2002 Rumble, but got to throw him in here, Mr. Perfect. I wish, you know, things would have been different. He would have got a legit, was able to have a legit run in 2002, but obviously, you know, things happen, is what it is. Mr. Perfect in at number 29, and last but not least, keeping it how it was in real life, Booker T, former World Heavyweight Champion, in at number 30. So as you can see, we got a good chunk of bodies in there right now, as a lot of names just enter the ring over the last few entrants. So APA going to go after Test. They're going to team up and eliminate Test from the Rumble match. However, the APA not going to last too much longer, as the big guys in there, Kane and Big Show, going to target APA. Kane eliminates Bradshaw. Big Show eliminates Farouk. Or vice versa. I just got real specific with that elimination because that's what I was thinking. Next up, we're going to have Goldust eliminating Rob Van Dam. And you might be saying, of all people, Goldust? And, you know, I know he was returning, but why is Goldust eliminating RVD after he just went coast to coast in this matchup without winning it? Well, Goldust and RVD went on to have a matchup at No Way Out the following month, so there's a little prelude for that. Again, the retrospect of looking back, you know, 22 years later, excuse me, you know, helps us in this sense, if I can get it out. Goldust eliminates Rob Van Dam after a hell of a performance from RVD in the Rumble match. Mr. Perfect, however, going to get his elimination. Mr. Perfect going to eliminate Goldust from the matchup as well. So now we got some names in there. We have Booker T and Stone Cold Steve Austin. They obviously got a lot of history coming out of 2001, and specifically Vengeance the month prior, where Booker T did cost Stone Cold his shot at becoming the Undisputed Champion. So Booker T and Austin going to be brawling in there, probably ever since Booker T enters the match at number 30. Stone Cold going to try to eliminate Booker T. However, Lance Storm going to get involved. He's, you know, unfortunately kind of the odd one out with the names that are in the ring right now. Lance Storm going to go after Austin. Austin ain't having none of it. And Stone Cold going to stunner Lance Storm, and he can go flying out of the ring, or just picks him up and throws him out. Either way, but Lance Storm eliminated by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Got some big names left in the ring. 6 names, I believe, to be exact. 6, 7? I don't know. I don't have, again, the pictures on my screen. I just have my notes. Can't count, I guess. I don't know. But a lot of big names, to say the least. That, I know, is correct. So Booker T is going to eliminate The Big Show from this matchup, who's been in since number 20. Kane is going to be eliminated, there we go, by his eventual WrestleMania 18 opponent in Kurt Angle. I'm not saying some of these WrestleMania 18 matches were what I would have gone with. You know, again, you guys can go see my rebooking of WrestleMania 18 up in the cards, but this obviously doesn't, you know, narrate with that, if that makes sense. This just goes along and with real life. So Kane going to eliminate, or I should say Kane is going to be eliminated by Kurt Angle. And then also Mr. Perfect going to exit this matchup by hands of the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle having himself a night, man. He is looking like the favorite to win this matchup. We are down to our final 4. At number 9, we had Triple H. At number 14, Kurt Angle. Number 24, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And at number 30, Booker T. Huge 4 names to close out the Royal Rumble matchup. I believe in real life it was Triple H, Angle, Austin, and Mr. Perfect. Just going to swap Perfect for Booker T, because in real life he comes in at number 30, lasts like a minute and a half, and like, you know, he should last longer than that. It's Booker T, former Undisputed Champ, just saying, or World Champ, you get the point. Nonetheless, those are your final 4. They can go at it for a couple of minutes, I would like, and then Triple H finally going to get that little bit of, you know, retribution on Kurt Angle for their history as of late. And of course, Kurt Angle just ambushing him in the aisleway earlier on in this matchup with the steel chair. Triple H going to eliminate Kurt Angle from the match. Stone Cold Steve Austin going to get his revenge on Booker T. Austin eliminates Booker T from the Rumble as well. Leaving us with the final 2, who are 2 men who got a lot of history with each other. You know, 2001 post-WrestleMania 17 probably would have been a lot different prior to the invasion angle, or at least in the invasion angle, had Triple H not gotten injured. What was it, after Backlash or after Judgment Day? I believe it was in May of 2001. But the 2-man power trip was taken over World Wrestling, the World Wrestling Federation, I should say. Triple H, the Intercontinental Champion, Austin, the WWF Champion. They were the tag team champions. A lot of history between Triple H and Austin. The 2-man power trip that just really didn't get to go to its full potential, let's say. So they're going to be your final 2. in the 2002 Royal Rumble matchup, and obviously they're going to beat the hell out of each other for a couple of minutes there. But ultimately, we're not here to change the course of history. We're just here to change the matchup itself. Triple H is going to eliminate Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the game Triple H, as he did in real life, wins his first Royal Rumble matchup, the 2002 Royal Rumble matchup from Atlanta, Georgia. And of course, he goes on to WrestleMania 18, takes on Chris Jericho in the main event, a matchup that, let's be real, gets forgotten about because it went on after Stone Cold, not Stone Cold, yeah, went on after Stone Cold and Scott Hall, went on after The Rock and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. But regardless of how you feel about WrestleMania 18, we are focusing on just the Royal Rumble matchup in 2002 itself. And again, I'm not saying the real life one was bad. I think it had its moments. I just think with the talent involved and where we were heading for WrestleMania 18, it could have been better. So this was just my take on it. I think I might do some more in the near future. We'll talk about that when we get back over to the other side of the desk. But yeah, that's my 2002 Royal Rumble. That's how I'll do it from point A to point B. Let me know your thoughts. So again, guys, that is my rebooking of the 2002 Royal Rumble matchup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you liked it down below in the comments. And we'll probably be doing at least one more of these rebooking Rumble videos before the 2024 Royal Rumble. I'm eyeing up 2011. I want to rebook the 2011 Rumble and maybe completely different, like completely different winner, all that stuff. Remains to be seen. We'll see what I can get out over the next couple of weeks. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below, and go follow me across all social medias at Noah Nation Vlogs. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Plenty of more content to come and plenty of more content to go back and watch here on the Noah Nation Wrestling YouTube channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.